What would you do if a cop grabbed your phone and opened the one app that destroys your whole story in seconds? Because the app that feels harmless to you can look like a confession to them. And once they see the wrong screen, your legal defense can start falling apart before you even speak. Hit subscribe right now, because what I'm about to show you could save you from handing police the evidence they need. Like this video too, because you need these lines ready before your phone ever becomes the target. Here's what you're about to learn. You're going to see the 3 apps that can wreck your defense faster than anything else on your phone. You're going to learn what cops think when they see your messages, your maps, and your photo backups. You're going to get the exact words to say when an officer asks you to unlock your phone or explain what's on it. And you're going to learn why one casual swipe can turn a simple stop into a full investigation. Most people have no idea how bad this gets. I've analyzed over 200 body cam videos, and you see the same pattern over and over. The officer starts friendly. The driver gets nervous. The phone comes out. Then everything changes. Let me show you exactly how your own apps can be used against you, even when you think you did nothing wrong. Here's the trick they don't want you knowing. A lot of cases do not start with some huge piece of evidence. They start with one app screen and your own mouth making it worse. Now let's talk about why this matters so much to you. Your phone is not just a phone anymore. Your phone is your chat history, your photos, your maps, your rides, your search history, your cloud backups, and your whole daily routine. So when police get access to your phone, they're not just checking one thing. They are looking at your life from every angle. And the scariest part is this. A lot of the stuff on your phone can look bad without context, even if it means nothing. A joke text can sound like a threat. A location pin can sound like proof. A photo can look recent when it's old. A deleted chat can sound like guilt when it was just clutter. Here's the reality. Your defense gets weaker the second you start helping them explain your own apps. If they already have lawful access, you still should not talk your way into deeper trouble. And if they are asking for consent, you should never hand that over for free. You need simple words, calm timing, and total control. The first app that can destroy your legal defense is your messaging app. I'm talking about texts, encrypted chats, group threads, DMs, and all the half-finished nonsense sitting in your phone right now. You know how people text. It's sloppy, it's sarcastic, it's full of jokes, code words, bad timing, and messages that make perfect sense only to you and the other person. But to a cop reading over your shoulder, your chat app can look like motive, intent, planning, or guilt. That is why messaging apps are so dangerous. A single phrase can get twisted fast. I'm outside. Bring it. Delete this. Same spot. Even if you meant nothing criminal, those words can sound terrible when police are already suspicious. So if an officer asks you to open your messages or says, just show me that text, you keep it simple. Here's exactly what you say. Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone or messages. Word for word. Memorize that line. If they follow up with questions about who texted you, what a message means, or why you deleted something, you say this next line. I'm invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. Those exact words. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court because it shuts down the biggest mistake people make, talking too much. Now let me show you exactly why this works. Police love when you think you can explain a message, because once you start explaining one text, you end up explaining 10 more. Then your story changes a little. Then they say you lied. Then they dig deeper. Bad way. Most drivers say, it's just a joke, let me show you. Then the officer reads the whole thread and builds a bigger story from your own words. Good way. Smart drivers say, officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone or messages. Then the officer loses the easy shortcut and has to do things the legal way. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. In Riley v. California, the court said police usually need a warrant before searching the digital contents of your phone after arrest. In plain English, your phone holds way too much private information for police to just scroll through it like a wallet. That case matters to you because your messages are not a small thing. They are a map of your relationships, your plans, your jokes, and your bad timing. Watch what happens when you keep your answer short and clear. The whole stop slows down. The officer may still take the phone in some cases, but taking it is not the same as searching it. That difference can save you later. And here's one more thing for you. Turn off lock screen previews if you have not already. You do not want your phone lighting up with a message that creates a whole new problem while the officer is standing there. This is 100% legal. You are not hiding. You are protecting your privacy before pressure hits. Have you ever sent a totally harmless text that would look awful to a stranger? Drop a comment below, because you already know how dangerous that can get when police read it the wrong way. The second app that can destroy your legal defense is your Maps app. This one is brutal because people trust maps way too much. They think location data is clean, exact, and fair. It is not always any of those things. Your Maps app may show where you searched, where you parked, where you stopped, what route you took, what place you saved, and where you were headed. And if police already think you were near something illegal, Your Maps app can turn into a timeline against you. Even worse, your map history may show places you visited for totally innocent reasons, but once an officer sees them, now you're explaining every stop in your day. If an officer asks to see your map app, your recent locations, or where you were going, here's exactly what you say. Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone, map history, or location data, word for word. Then, if they keep pushing with questions, you add this. I'm invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. Keep it boring, keep it calm, keep it short. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection because location data sounds powerful even when it lacks context. Maybe your phone shows you near a house, but you were just passing by. Maybe it shows a stop, but you only pulled over for gas. Maybe it shows a saved address, but you never even went there. None of that will sound better because you tried to explain it on the roadside. Listen closely because this is critical. The second you start answering detailed questions about where you were, you are helping them lock your story into place before you even know what they think happened. Bad way. Most drivers say, I can show you where I was. Then they open maps, reveal extra locations, and give police more questions than they had before. Good way. Smart drivers say, Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone, map history, or location data. Then the officer has to stop using your own app as free evidence. This comes straight from a Supreme Court rulings too. In Carpenter v. United States, the court said police generally need a warrant to get detailed historical cell phone location records from your provider. In plain English, the government usually cannot just grab a deep record of where your phone has been without proper court approval. That does not mean you should sit there and open your own location history for them. It means your location data matters enough that the law treats it as private. Watch what happens when you refuse the right way. The officer cannot use your nerves to get a free timeline out of you. Here's the reality. Your map app does not just know where you are. It can show where you searched, where you considered going, and what places mattered to you. That is why it can hurt you so fast. Former police officers have confirmed this works because once you refuse consent, the whole encounter gets pushed back into legal rules instead of guesswork and pressure. This is 100% legal. You do not have to unlock your movements just because an officer asks, like it is no big deal. And for your own safety, go clean up what you do not need before trouble ever starts. Delete old save places you never use. Turn off location history you do not want. Remove old app permissions that track you for no reason. Just do not start deleting anything if a case is already happening. At that point, you need a lawyer, not a cleanup session. The third app that can destroy your legal defense is your cloud photo backup app. This one catches people off guard because they think police will only see what is on the phone screen. Wrong. Your backup app can hold years of photos, screenshots, videos, downloaded files, and hidden junk you forgot existed. Your camera roll alone is dangerous, but your cloud backup is worse because it may keep things you deleted from the phone, old metadata showing time and place, and screenshots from conversations you barely remember. So when police get into that app, they are not just seeing one picture. They are seeing your history. If an officer wants you to open your photos, your cloud drive, or your backup account, here's exactly what you say. Officer, I do not consent to any search of my photos, cloud storage, or my storage or backup accounts. Word for word. Then, if they start asking what a photo means, or when it was taken, you use the second line again. I am invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. Same voice, same calm tone, same short answer. I've analyzed over 200 body cam videos, and this is where people panic the most. They think one quick look will clear everything up. It almost never does. A photo from 2 years ago can look current. A screenshot can look like proof of intent. A saved image from the internet can look like your personal plan. A picture of cash, a place, a person, or a tool can suddenly become part of a story you did not even know police were building. Bad way. Most drivers say, you can look, but it's old stuff. Then the officer finds photos, screenshots, or backups that open 10 new questions. Good way. Smart drivers say, Officer, I do not consent to any search of my photos, cloud storage, or backup accounts. Then the officer loses the shortcut and you stop feeding the problem. Riley matters here too because the Supreme Court understood that a phone is a doorway into your private life, and your cloud backup can be even bigger than the phone itself. Now let me show you exactly why this matters for your defense. If your lawyer later argues that police went too far, that argument is much stronger when you never gave consent and never helped them search. If you hand them the app yourself, you blur that line. That hurts you. If you keep refusing clearly, your lawyer has something real to work with later. Here's the reality. A backup app can be more dangerous than a text app because it keeps old things alive. That deleted screenshot, that weird photo, that old video, that saved file, it can all come back. Most drivers never think about that until it is too late. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection when police are trying to use your own digital history against you. And yes, go review your cloud settings before you ever need them. Turn off automatic backup for junk folders. Delete useless screenshots you do not need. Remove old synced albums that serve no purpose. That is smart digital hygiene, not panic. If you've made it this far, you're serious about protecting your rights. Show me by hitting that like button, because now I'm going to tie all 3 apps into the legal framework you need to remember. Now let's put the law in plain English so you can actually use it. Riley v. California is the big one. That case says, police usually need a warrant before searching the digital contents of your phone after arrest. In 7th grade English, your phone is packed with private stuff, so police do not get to freely dig through it just because they took it from you. Carpenter v. United States is the next one you need. That case says your location history is private enough that police generally need proper court approval to get deep records from your provider. In simple English, your movements matter, and the government cannot just grab them the easy way. Then you have Miranda v. Arizona and Berghuis v. Tompkins working together. Miranda says you have the right to remain silent and ask for a lawyer during police questioning. Berghuis says you need to clearly say it if you want that protection to fully kick in. In plain English, silence is stronger when you use the exact words out loud. That is why every tactic in this video sounds simple. Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone or messages. Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone, map history, or location data. Officer, I do not consent to any search of my photos, cloud storage, or backup accounts. I'm invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. Those are not magic tricks. Those are clear lines that stop you from doing police work for them. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. Your power is not in sounding smart. Your power is in sounding clear. Now let's walk through a real stop so you can hear how this plays out in the real world. You're pulled over late at night for speeding. The officer takes your license, shines the light into your car, and sees your phone on the seat. A message preview pops up from a friend with a dumb joke that looks bad out of context. Wrong way first. You get nervous and say, "It's not what it looks like. I can show you." Then you unlock the phone. The officer sees your messages. Then he notices your Maps app. He asks where you were earlier, and you open your recent locations to prove your story. Now he sees another stop you forgot about. Then he asks about a photo on your home screen. You open your photo app to explain that too. A cloud backup icon pops up. Now the stop is no longer about speeding. Your own app's just built a bigger investigation. Now the right way. Same stop, same phone, same message preview. The officer asks, "Who texted you?" You say, "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone or messages." He asks where you were headed and whether you can open maps. You say, "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone, map history, or location data." He points at your camera icon and asks if there are photos from tonight. You say, "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my photos, cloud storage, or backup accounts." Then he keeps asking questions about what he already saw on the screen. You say, "I'm invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer." Watch what happens. The stop stops growing. You do not solve the officer's questions for him. You do not help him build the timeline. You do not talk your way into a deeper hole. You stay calm, polite, and hard to exploit. That is how you protect your defense. Coming next week, what to do when cops ask to search your phone after they say they already have probable cause. Subscribe, because that video could save your entire life from being exposed. So here's your quick recap. First, your messaging app can turn jokes, slang, and random texts into a fake confession if you unlock it or explain it. Second, your Maps app can turn your whole day into a timeline against you if you volunteer your location data. Third, your cloud photo backup can expose years of old images, screenshots, and videos you forgot existed. And across all 3 apps, your safest move is the same. Refuse consent clearly, then invoke silence, and ask for a lawyer if questions keep coming. Let me show you exactly what matters most. Your phone is powerful, but your mouth is what usually finishes the damage. Keep both under control. Hit subscribe so you catch next week's video on probable cause phone searches. Smash that like button if this just saved you from a future mistake. And drop a comment telling me which app shocked you the most. Stay safe out there.